Hi all. So in the last video, I have already discussed the Stream API functionality. So I have discussed one of the important functionality that Stream API is the map function, that is the intermediate function. So what is a map function basically? So map function is nothing but converting a stream into another value. So basically whenever you are trying to fetch for any particular value, so that time you just need to use the intermediate function, that is map. So let's say in that example I have already informed you that so in the employee table, so we have three fields: employee id, employee name, and employee city. So whenever we are trying to fetch employee by name, we just want to get the city. We don't need any id or any other details. So that's why what we have done, we just create one map function. So here you can write that. So map is that function name. We are using e dot get city, and then we are collecting those details. So today we will discuss two more important stream API function, that is one is filter and one is for each. So let's see. So here I have already, so let's start with an example first. So let's clear on this. Let's start with run Java application. Application is successfully running. Let me add couple of details into the DB. So let's add over here. I have adding Bhuku, got one. I am adding my name, give city Kolkata. I am adding Garfield name, same city. So if I check in the DB, so basically in the DB, we have added three fields. So Bhuku, showed up, and Garfield. Now what we need to do, we need to do some filter operation. So what the filter operation is doing, so in the last video I have already mentioned that the filter operation is basically filtering the condition. So whatever the condition you are passing over there, so that they will filter the result based on the condition. So here what I have done, I have taken one list called employee final details, and I am just getting all the data into the list, list of employee. So in the filter condition, I just, my requirement was we just want to get the employee details who is belonging from city of joy, that is Kolkata. So what we have done, we have added three. Here you can see we have added three records. One is Bhuku, that is BBSR, that means Bhubaneswar. One is Saurabh Kolkata, one is Garfield Kolkata. If you want, we can add, we have added CR7 also over here. So fourth city we have added. Now we want to get the employee details whoever is belonging from city of joy. So based on that we should get two name. One is Saurav, one is Garfield. So let's check. So what is the URL for that getting the employed by name? So here if you see like that, so the method name is find all employee by name. So if you go to the controller class, so it is calling this one, find by name slash name. So let's check. Let's go to the get method. Let's check find by name. What is that name? We can give the Saurav. So Saurav is fine. Awesome. We'll get entire details. Here I am mentioning one more thing. So in the last video I have already showed like that while doing the map operation, you shouldn't get all the details like that, because map operation is converting a stream into another value. So that's why if you see the code in the map operation, we are just getting e dot city name. That means we should get only the city name, not all the other details. But here we are just filtering based on the condition. So that's why you should get all the details based on that. So we are filtering the city name based on the Kolkata. So that's why whenever I'm filtering with the name called Saurav, we should get all the details. Let's check with another one. So let's check with this result CR7 and send. Awesome. That's the difference between the map and filter. And you see, though, because as we are keeping the filter condition like that, e dot get city dot equals ignore case, because sometimes that Kolkata case should be smaller, case should be capital. So that's why I am using equal ignore case. So whatever the spelling for Kolkata, so it will ignore irrespective of uppercase and lowercase. So here you can see like that the employee name of CR7, he is belonging from Pune. Though the records are present in the DB, but we shouldn't get the details from the a postman. Why? Why? Because we have already given one condition, filter condition, that is e dot get city dot equals ignore case, which means we should get the city name, we should get all the details of the employee who is belonging from the city of joy, that is Kolkata. So this is one of the important feature of Java 8 stream API. So the filter is one of the intermediate operation for the Java 8 API, which I have already discussed in the last class. So this is one of the important feature of Java 8 API. Now I will show the for each loop. So basically for each loop is one of the important loop or important method. So it's a term terminal method of the particular Java 8 stream API. So in the for each loop, basically what it will do, so it will iterate each and everything from the where starts onward. So basically for each loop, the condition, I mean, the logic of the for each loop is basically if for I int I equal to 0, I less than 10, or whatever the value we are keeping the condition, and then I plus plus. So till the tenth of the value, so it will iterate each and everything. So that's what we are getting the for each loop. So now let's give one small example over here. So now I am changing my code a little bit, modification. So here I am doing the change, taking this one. So you just need to give here string, and here you can pass like plus space it fine. Okay, also we need to, as we modify the return type of string, we need to change in controller class itself. Instead of employee, we are just modifying the return type. Now again we need to run the application. So run as Java application has been started successfully. Now let me add couple of records in the DB. So I can easily show you. First CR7 Pune, add it. Second Kolkata, add it. Third one, mm, user, add it. Fourth one, added. I have added again four more records over there. So okay, let's check. Select star from employee. Okay, let's see the other thing. So now I need to get the details. Okay, so get find by name. So just check with the name CR7. CR7. Wow, why we're not getting the result? Because if you see here the implementation, what we have done, we are just doing, so let me expand this one. Yeah. So here we are doing passing the filter condition the same, whatever the condition I have already showed to you a couple of minutes ago. So that's the same condition. So we should fetch the employee details who is belonging from the city of Kolkata. Along with we are just keeping instead of collect, we are just doing the for each. So for each is nothing but the in terminal operation. So collect for each, those operation are terminal operation for the stream API. So here you can give like that for each, and we are just getting the details, whatever the details you want. I don't want the all the data, I don't want the ID of the particular employee, I just want the name along with the city. But here though the employee is present in the database, but the employee records are not coming while hitting the API. Why? Because the employee is belonging from Pune, and we are here filtering out with the city of Kolkata. So that's why it is not coming. So let's check with the valid result. Let's check with Vuku. So, and awesome. You will get two things. One is name and another one is city. Vuku, then Kolkata. Because here we are just separating these two. So here you can see like that emp details. So emp details is basically nothing but the list of employee, and we are just adding inside that. What we are doing, we are just e dot get name, just getting the name of the employee, along with we are concatenating and concatenating the city. So that's why, as list is a dynamic list, so that's why we can add dynamically whatever the details you are getting. We should add over here like that, we should concat over here like that, it will add. So here this is one of the important feature of the streamate API. So for each loop or for each method is one of the important feature of streamate, and for each is the terminal operation of the streamate API. So in the last video we have learned map, and this video we have learned filter along with the for each. So now I have done with this example. Now I will give you the some overview of some other part. So let's get it, lambda expression. So as I have already mentioned you, so what is the lambda expression? So here if you see like that, so these are all the, here if you see like that, so these are all the feature of the lambda expression. So I'm give you the overview of the lambda expression, how it works. Basically whenever you are appearing for any interview or anything else, then they will ask this kind of question in the interview. So what is lambda expression, how it basically work and all. So lambda expression is basically used to provide the implementation of an interface, basically which is a functional interface. So what is a functional interface? The functional interface is one of the interface which is having only one abstract method. The call is the functional interface. In the Java, we have one annotation called at the rate functional interface annotation, which is used to declare an interface as a functional interface. So whenever you want to declare any interface as a functional interface, you just in the Spring Boot application just annotate in the top of the interface, you just annotate with at the rate functional interface, and you should keep one abstract method. So the thing is that you can't keep any other method, means any not more than one method in the functional interface. So to implement this functional interface, so Java has introduced lambda expression. So basically the lambda expression is consisted of three components. One is argument list, that can be empty or non-empty. One is arrow token, and one is the body part. So here I can explain this one. So this is the argument list. Okay, this is the arrow token, and this is the body part. So that argument list is referring to the body part. So this the entire body part. So lambda expression is basically giving the improvement of the application. So because if you see here, if you see the map function, if you see the filter function, we are not writing the lot of code over here to filtering out based on the city of Kolkata. But we are just keeping the function lambda expression e, then arrow token e dot get city, and we can easily fetch the record, just single line of single piece of line code. So this is one of the important feature of Java 8 Stream API. So you should keep remember, in the all the lambda expression we should the lambda expression consists of three components. One is argument list, one is arrow token, another one is body. So here is this is one of the here whenever we are using the stream API, you should use the lambda expression, because lambda expression is easiest way to iterate everything. So that's why I am using here the lambda expression. If you see the map function also, I am hearing the lambda expression. I am using the lambda expression here also. So now, after the lambda expression, now I am giving you the some interview kind of question. So first of all, I would like to thank you my all the viewers. I got so many requests from my viewers that they want some interview related question. What are the different type of question interviewer are asking the question during the interview session. So I will come up you all in my next upcoming video. In all the topic, I will just cover up how the interview will be going on, and what are the different type of question basically they will ask whenever they are asking for the interview, basically for the Java Spring Boot related interview. So one of the important question, or one of the important topic interview, or most of the interviewer are asking nowadays, that is the annotation part. So all of you know that the Spring Boot application is basically based on the all the annotation. So they are asking most of the question from the annotation part. So I am not covering up right now all the annotation. Rather, I will cover small one by one annotation. So here I am just giving you one of the most important question, which is usually asked almost each and every organization whenever you are applying for Java backend or Java full stack interview. That is, what's the difference between at the rate AutoWare and at the rate qualifier. So let's see what is AutoWare. So AutoWaring is nothing but creating the bean without keeping the new property. So whenever we are mentioning at the rate AutoWare, so it will AutoWaring or the class itself, and it will create a bean for the particular class, wherever I am mentioned, or class or method where in the top, wherever I just mentioned the at the rate AutoWare annotation. So basically it will create the object. So all of you know that whenever here, if you see like that, we are creating the object of employee final details, like that new. So right, there is in the Java, basically there are 6 to 7 methods we can create the object. So this is one of the interview questions. So how many ways you can create the object and explain. So this is one of the important one of the way. So basic way we are creating object by using the new keyword. Another way, you can use the create object class dot font name. So whenever you are trying to connect the database connectivity using JDBC connection, so you should give class dot font name, and then the that class name inside that one. So that class dot font name, so basically it will create the object over there. So like that, there are 7 ways I will explain in the upcoming videos. So how many ways, and I will give you the example on an example. So how many ways you can create the object. You can create the object by using the serialization also. So here you can see like this. So this is one of the is means common way to create an object by using the new keyword. But whenever you are using the Spring Boot application, so Spring Boot applications, let's say there is a lot of in the application. If you are trying to create all the object like that, new, then it will take the lot of memory in the virtual memory, in JVM, basically Java virtual memory. So to overcome this problem, Spring Boot has introduced one annotation called at the rate AutoWare. So you don't need to explicitly write all those things. You just mention the at the rate AutoWare annotation on the top of the class or on the top of the method. So whenever you are mentioning at the top of the class or at the top of the method at that AutoWare, it will detect that the class or method is we need to create the bean. They will create the bean for the particular class and or method by using that new keyword. Now there is one slight problem while auto-varying the method or class name. What is the problem? Problem is basically whenever you are trying to create the same object twice. Let's say, suppose here I have given this one, and if you are trying to create, so like the right, so employee final details is one object I have created using the new keyword. Again I am trying to use the same employee final details using the new keyword. So what is the issue you are getting? Duplicate local variable, rename employee final details. Either you have to rename that, either you have to rename this one or you have to rename the first one. So why in while you are doing the new keyword, so you don't need to worry about that, because whenever you are just trying to create the object with the same name, then they will throw error over here itself. But while doing auto adding, you won't, while writing the code and while you are trying to do auto adding, you won't find this kind of issue. But whenever you are trying to run the program, you will get that no unique bin exception. I will show you how to resolve that one. So let's take an example. So here I am just taking one simple example. So the example is, so I have given create one interface called sports. So the sports interface is basically inherited by two class. One is implementing two class. One is football and another one is cricket. Okay. Now, so both the football and cricket class are implementing the sports interface and it will override the sports method. Now there is one more class called sports lover, where I have auto adding the sports interface, and I am calling this particular method, sports method, using from this particular class itself. And now what I need to do, I just need to, yeah, I just need to trying to run the particular exam program. So let's check run Java application. Here, ooh, we got error creating bean name sports lover unsatisfied dependency field SP, because no qualifying bean of type of sports available, expecting single matching bean but found two, cricket and football. You can see like that, no unique bean exception, no qualifying bean type of available, expecting single matching bean but found two. Why? Because whenever you can check like that, so here you can see in the sports is fine. Whenever we are just implementing the sports, we are attaching as a component. So now I am giving you the example of component. So whenever you are attaching indicating any class as a component, that class are considered auto detection as using the annotation based configuration. So whenever you are indicating any of the class as a component, so it will create the bean for that particular class itself. So so that's why, so here what I have done, here I have implementing sports interface for cricket class as well as the football class, and I am, so here I'm just keeping, guys, yeah. So here let's run one more time, so to understand properly. Okay. So here I have implementing the sports interface into two classes. One is cricket, one is football, and I am attaching both the class as a component. So that's mean whenever I am attaching any class at that component, so the Spring Boot application consider this class as a component and it will create the bean for this particular class itself. So it will create the bean for this particular class cricket, which is implementing sports interface, and same time it will create the bean for the particular class football, which is implementing sports interface. Where the issue is found, issue is basically coming for this method. So you can see like that, I am trying to get the bin of football from sports dot class, which is the interface class. But whenever I am trying to get bin, they didn't understand which bin they should execute. Because if you see here, no unique bin definition exception. Why? Because they are getting the same type of bin twice, expecting single matching bin but found two. One is cricket, one is football. So Spring Boot application doesn't understand which bin they need to call at the point of time, because you can't call two bin at a time, right? The same way I have already showed here, right? So whenever you are trying to create the new object with the same object name, emp details equal to new emp details, so that time you are getting the error. Then forcefully you need to rename the object name. So here what you need to do, instead of that one, we have introduced one more annotation called qualifier annotation. So if you see here in the sports lover, if you write here at the red qualifier annotation, and if you give the bin, whatever the bin you wants to execute that point of time, if you keep this bin over there, then whenever you run the program, it will detect that yes, I want to execute the bin of football. So here you can see, so in the text Spring Boot application, you can see system.out love for spl underscore sports. So whenever it is calling spl underscore, sorry, spl underscore sports, so it will go to the, so it will come here, you can see like that, because sports interface is basically implement in two classes, one is football, one is cricket. So if I am not using the at the rate qualifier annotation, so it will confused which bin they should call at a time, because whenever the Spring Boot application is running, they should call one bin at a time. They're confusing over here, they are getting ambiguity issue. That's why no unique bin definition exception we are facing. So what we have done, we are just keeping the, sorry, here in the sports lover class at the rate qualifier, inside the qualifier we should keep the bin name. So if you see here in the football class, I am keeping the bin name called football. The same bin name you should keep over here. Then whenever you are trying to run this application along with the bin name, whatever the bin name you are keeping in the qualifier, so then it will it, whenever you are running, you are trying to get the bin, it will understand, okay, I want to get only the bin of football, not the bin of cricket. So that time it will run the create the object for the only football class itself, and it will execute successfully. So if you change football to cricket, and let's see, yes, and if you in the, so let's run this one. Awesome, we are getting cricket over here. Let me, okay, awesome, we are getting cricket over there, right? Because here I am keeping qualified cricket. So that's the advantage between autoware and qualifier. So whenever you are, so whenever interviewer are asking the kind of question, you should give this kind of example. So you can give like that. So if we are trying to create the same type of bin, one or more same type of bin, if you are trying to create the create the same type of bin while calling the Spring Boot application, then that time we are getting the no unique bin definition exception, and you should use the at the rate qualifier annotation, which will identify which bin we should run during the Spring Boot application. There is one more way to use that one. So that way is primary. So here if you give, there is one more annotation is there, that is primary annotation. So primary answer, what is the difference? So then whenever you are giving the correct answer of the and at that qualifier and at the and auto and qualifier annotation, immediately they will ask the question, then what is the purpose of primary? So whenever you are keeping the primary, and if you are not keeping here the qualifier, then what it will do, let's check. Okay, so let's check. So in the sports lover, football, a spring boot. Yeah. So let me just take an example of this. Let me show you over here. So let me, okay. Yeah. So now if you see like here, so now we don't have any. Yes. So we don't have any, if you see here, we are not using any qualifier annotation. But what we are done, we are just using at the rate primary. So at the, whenever we are using at the rate primary annotation, irrespective of anything, it will create the bin for the particular class itself, because primary annotation is having the highest priority irrespective of other classes. So whenever you are addressing any or attaching any class at the rate primary annotation, they will automatically or by default they will create the bin for the class itself, and you will not get the no unique bin condition exception. But so that's the difference between primary and qualifier. In the qualifier, where whatever the bin you want to execute, you just need to keep the bin name, it will execute successfully. But in the primary, whatever the class you are adding as a primary class itself, that class will execute that time. So you understand, right? So this is the difference between at the rate qualifier and at the rate primary. So I hope you would like that video, and in the next video I will inform you, I will give you the overview of the REST template. So how to create application by using the REST template. So already I have given you the thing whenever by using the exception handling part. So now I am giving you the overview of the REST template in the next video. Till now, bye bye, and have a happy weekend to all of you.